Yo, what is good YouTube? Today we are back once again with another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, a VGC video, but in today's video, we're going to be ranking every single Pokemon in the Paldea region. Well, at least everything available in Regulation C. At the time of recording this, at least we're only a couple days away from Regulation C. We've had roughly about 3 to 4 weeks to practice the format, basically on Showdown, on tours people have hosted and whatnot. And me and a couple of boys, we will be joined by Coco and Ice coming up shortly. I'll chuck their links in the description, of course, as well. Check them out. But yes, we will be ranking all of these Pokemon you see here in front of you. Yeah, it should be pretty good. Obviously this format has all the Paradox Mons, it has all the Ruin Mons. The only Mons not in this format will be the cover legends, obviously, but everything else is fair game. You know, as I said, we got all the Paradox Mons, we got these 4 beautiful Ruin legends here, especially this beautiful boy Chi right here. But yeah, it should be fun. Of course, boys, if you could like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, I really appreciate it. This video is going to take a hot minute. Again, you look at all this stuff, I'll try to cut out as much of the bad ones as we can. But yeah, we'll go to attack with Coco and Ice, and then yeah, we'll link up and we'll get into it. But yeah, if you guys want to introduce yourselves, let's get started.
You go first, Ice.
Hi, I'm Ice Fraud So Icy. I'm a VGC participant with no notable achievements.
You got achievements. You're on the Rustboro Rayquazas for the VCL.
Better performance than me too. I mean, I think everyone had a better performance than me that day, but
look,
not saying much.
0 and 2.
Okay, look, I was 1 and 5, so actually 1 and 6 technically, because yeah, but not good. Anyway, Coco, you're up, man. You've got the longest intro here.
So I'm Coco for Days. I am a VGC content creator over on Twitch and YouTube. I also host a podcast that covers all Pokemon news, and I am also a commentator for the Wide League.
Very nice, very nice. Obviously, I'll drop all the links in the description as well for anyone who wants to check you guys out. But anyway, boys, let's jump into it. Raichu, a very interesting mon. What do you guys think of Raichu? So I have some thoughts on this one.
I think Raichu may have a place being a fast fake-out nuzzle user. But with the lack of electric type mons getting around, I don't think you want to really be using it for lightning rods. So I'd just say trash.
Iceworld, do you want to add anything to it?
I've kind of thought like Raichu might have a place, and I've even had it in my team builder like Series 1 when I was making some rain teams, but I just think like I haven't seen it do very good on literally any team. And I don't think any of the, like, nothing about the new Mons gives it, like, a better matchup. Yeah. But, like, maybe there's a niche. Like, Raichu does get, like, a lot of moves, right? Like, you can make a lot of sets with Raichu. So
part of me wants to put it in not good, simply because I've had this team in the builder this mod in the builder so many times. I've just never been able to make it work, but I feel like its niche is there, right? Like, as you said, I think it's like the second fastest fake out user in the, if you count Salazzle right now. Obviously it's a really fast nuzzle. You know, it does a lot of things. Like electric stab's like never bad, but yeah, you could scarf it
into elephant. That could be decent.
Maybe, but yeah, look, I think I want to put it into not good because I like Raichu, but it honestly might be trash. What do you think, guys? I'll let you decide. If you think it's D,
I think not. I think not good because there's probably places where it's not terrible.
Yeah,
as like these other ones.
I'll chuck them in there because I think there's no need to talk about them. Now, what about Golduck? This one has a niche. What do we think about its niche?
I think with the uprise of Pelipper, Cloud9 could be effective, but in saying that, how often do you see Pelipper coming into play? Even T-Tar, it's not that common anymore.
I think T-Tar is actually going to rise a lot. I still think it's like insanely good into the Ruin ones. I kind of want to put this in not good because it has a niche. You know, it has Cloud9. It's also like, I think it's like the best like special Swift swimmer in the game at the minute. But I don't know. It's probably trash right now. Any objections to it being in trash?
Nah, I got none.
I can't make a strong objection.
Yeah. No, I think it's, if it had
there
like
is cool tech with Simple Beam is all I'll say.
I think, look, if it maybe had like another 20 points in special attack, then we'd be talking. But
Yeah, its
yeah,
stats are pretty bad.
yeah. And now Arcanine.
Clear
What?
S tier mon, in my opinion.
Yeah, look, I'd agree. I think it's without a doubt the best Intimidate one right now. It is obviously
You've got
has Stab
Intimidate,
Flare
you've
Blitz,
got
Extreme
Flare
Speed.
Blitz,
Yeah,
Will-O-Wisp.
it
And
does so much.
not only that, but it's also a great support mon too.
Yeah, it's just this one does it all, honestly. And like obviously with this format too, we have Chien-Pao in the meta, and this is the second best e-speed user next to obviously D-Knight being number one, but this mon obviously helps with the physical weakness of the team. Obviously sitting next to a Chien-Pao, like your team's always just gonna have their defense lowered, so being able to lower the enemy attack is also like really good, I think. Yeah, look, I think we're all in agreement that's S tier. And Slowbro. What do you guys think of Slowbro?
If there was Trick Room, I'd say yes. But right now, I think in the way that the meta is looking, it is very hyper offensive. And with Chien-Pao, and you've also got Chi-Yu running around, both very hard hitting mons with Dark type, I don't think Slowbro stands a chance.
And Fluttermane hasn't gone down.
Yeah, I think this
and the
mon's...
Indeedee Armarouge core is in trouble too, so that's like some of its teammates you would maybe pair it with are also down.
I think the one thing I liked about this mon, like pre-series 1, when everyone was playing like the, you know, like the original like format, which was Regulation C, the Terrace fighting, I think it was, with like Iron Defense Body Press was like a cool tech, but I don't know if it's going to be good going forward. Are you guys happy to put this in not good, or are we going to go with trash?
I don't think it's trash. I think its stats are good enough, and
yeah,
like
I agree.
There's a chance also that Hail becomes really good somehow, and like Chilly Reception becomes like a big asset or something. Like
that's true.
Yeah, but it's probably pretty bad.
Yeah,
so
I'd agree.
Okay
any objections there, Coco? I'll take that as a no, Coco. Oh, he's muted himself.
Oh, what?
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're good.
No, I got no objections at all.
All right. Now we'll go next on Gengar. I think this mon's solid. I just think its speed tier is not good enough in a meta that has Fluttermane. Like, why would I ever like play Gengar when I could just play Fluttermane?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think it's trash. Like, I still think it has a niche. Like, it's a pretty quick haze user. Obviously, it hits really hard. It's like base 130 special attack. You know, poison stab's always nice. Part of me wants to go like probably not good. Because I don't think the mon's bad, but like Fluttermane's existence just kind of like makes it bad.
Yeah, because like as a speedy Trick Room user, speedy Perish Song user, Fluttermane outclasses both of those, outclasses it offensively. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Where do you think then? Probably not good or just not good?
It's Gengar, so I don't want to hate on him, but
Gengar is one of my favorite mons, so it pains me to say that.
Let's
not good.
Are we saying it's just not good? All right, look, again, I think if Fluttermane didn't exist, this thing could like have potential, but like, why would I ever play it over Fluttermane?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, these two will go quick. So these have actually had results recently. I think they're both trash, but like, they had results. Thoughts?
I can see Electrode having results. It's a very fast electric type Pokemon.
The one result it had was a Choice Scarf set that was like simply there to beat Booster Bundle. Because I believe it could always kill it if it didn't Terra. But I feel like Bundle is gonna drop off in the Ruined format, and because of that, I think it's just trash.
Bundle will definitely drop off. There's no place in the meta for it.
Oh, look, I think there's definitely a place for Bundle. I just think its usage isn't going to be what it was, being, you know, the fastest one in the format. But I guess Chansey, I think we're probably all in agreement it's just trash.
Yeah.
Like, I know.
I don't know what are people doing with it.
I couldn't tell you. I know someone told me that on the weekend it was 5-0 in what was it, Charlotte, I think. It went 5-0. Couldn't tell you what it was running to get to 5-0, but apparently it was 5-0. That's all I know. I don't think it's good.
See, I think it's those two are like the camera ups that did well. You know, do well once,
Mm,
and then we'll never see it again.
you're probably right.
Because even after Camera Up did well, I did not see it at all on Showdown.
Mm.
It was just non-existent.
Yeah, no, I agree. Next, we'll talk about the two better Tauroses, because I think the other one, while it's decent, it's definitely a tier below. What do you guys think on these two? The fire and water Tauroses.
Well, they're good intimidators.
Oh yeah, sorry, I probably should have led with that. That is their niche. Yeah, they are two, really solid intimidators. Arguably, second, third best, depending how you position a couple, of the other ones. But yeah, definitely up there. Part of me wants to say they both have potential. Because again, like I think Fire Taurus is like the only issue is it's just outclassed by Arcanine, right? But it still has some niches that Arcanine doesn't. It has the ability to break screens. It has a stab close combat. It's faster. And the same thing with Water Taurus. Like, it doesn't have access to, obviously the Will-O-Wisp, but it has the Aqua Jet for priority, which could be really nice next to Chien-Pao. Similar situation to Arcanine where, having the Intimidate on a power team is still really good, especially when you have priority.
Yeah.
Like, I would argue that they both have potential, but I could also see them just, like, probably not being good.
I'd say probably not good. If I was to personally use it myself, it would strictly be for Intimidate and maybe to get an Aqua Jet off or, something of that priority nature to try and just do a little bit of chip for the next pick to come in.
Yeah, I'm happy with probably not good. And then this one here, like, same stats, it just doesn't have the dual type. I think as an Intimidate user, like, it has its niches, but, like, I just think it's probably not good. Sorry, it's just not good, sorry.
Yeah, definitely.
Do we agree?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, now, an interesting one, Gyarados. So, I actually started running a lot of Gyarados at the start of Regulation C. I think it pairs really nicely with some of the mons that are running around. But have you boys seen the new sets people are running on Gyarados right now?
Aren't people using it as an Intimidator in Rain?
No, so maybe, but the set I've seen rising a lot is the Whirlpool set. So it's like Whirlpool, Thunder Wave, and Waterfall. So they trap you, they paralyze you, and then they just para flinch you. Just like sit there, it's Intimidate Mon. Yeah, it's kind of scary. I've burned a couple. Yeah, I've tried to burn a couple because I'm like, oh, burn the Gyarados, and then they just Whirlpool me, and it's like, oh, this sucks. I'm trapped now. But this is a mon that I think it probably just has potential. I wouldn't say it's really solid. It's definitely better than the ones below it, I think, right now. But yeah, I think it has potential. What are the thoughts there?
Definitely has potential. I've heard a couple of people in some team building servers trying to work with it as well. Yeah, I definitely think it has potential. I'm pretty sure Wolfie ran it on the weekend, didn't he?
Yes. I couldn't tell you what set he did.
His name was very weird.
It was just like a random mishmash of what can, what will work.
Just whatever Wolf could, whatever he could fit on a team. I think he kind of just, was like, all right,
Quickly off topic, I'm very surprised he hasn't used Pachirisu yet.
You think Wolf would play Pachirisu there? I'm surprised Sajin hasn't. Actually, has Sajin?
Didn't Wolfie?
I don't think Sajin plays anymore.
I thought Wolf won a World Cup with Pachirisu.
No,
that was Sajin Park.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
My bad.
No, you're good. You're good. I did just throw a lot of mons in the trash tier. It's kind of filling it up quickly. So next one's D-Knight. Look, this is easily minimum A, arguably S. Thoughts?
I'd say S for sure. No doubt about it.
Ice Rod, are you okay with that?
Yeah, I think it's like a little bit of a tough matchup into Chien-Pao. I think people will use Dragonite. It's just a question of, what Terra, what set. I think the problem can be sometimes if people have like an efficient way to like break your multi-scale and then hit you with a strong move. Or absorb your extreme speed, that it just puts him in a position where he has to Terra. And I'm hesitant to put Mons on my team that I feel like I always have to Terra to use them. That's the only thing I would say against it. Other than that, like its move pool is really good, its stats are really good.
Yeah, no,
I
look,
got
and
second
I feel
in the
that.
tournament using D-Knight.
I think
Paired next to Chien-Pao, but I wasn't running multi-scale. I was running in a focus.
Yeah, I think Inner Focus is slightly more popular in tournaments right now. Look, my argument for D-Knight is I think this mod has 3 viable sets. I think the banded Terra normal set's really good. I think the AV like 4 attack Terra flying is really good. And I also think like the Lumberry Tailwind set is really good. Like I think they're all really good, and that's why I think it's S tier. I think it has 3 really viable sets.
That's fair.
And I think if you don't have an answer to like Terra normal banded E-Speed next to a Chien-Pao, like it's just gonna sweep your team. But yeah. I think it's S. All right, now Arzu. I got my cheeks clapped by an Arzu in your tournament on the weekend.
Yes,
Coco.
they were running Choice Band.
Yep, banded Aquajet with Terra Water next to a Chien-Pao. So Arzu, I think, is definitely on the rise as one of the best water mons in the format. I think it's like Palafin, but it can play turn 1, right? Like Palafin's biggest issue is like, yeah, you can Aqua Jet, you can Jet Punch, you can maybe Wave Crash turn 1, but like it's not as, good as getting its hero form up, where like Arzu turn 1, huge power, banded Aqua Jet, like it's doing damage. I think it's at least B, maybe like low A. I'll have to wait and see how like the rest of the
I'd say A, just because like, don't forget, if you're not going to run that, you pair it next to, like, not going to run Choice Band, pair it next to Meowth, follow me, and then you can...
Belly Drum too, yeah.
Belly Drum.
Yeah, that's true. I did forget it obviously has the Belly Drum set. I've only seen Banded. What do you think, Asford? I'm happy for either. Like, I don't mind if it's, like, some, like, low A tier or if it's, like, high B. I definitely think it's a good mon.
I think it should be in the same tier as Gyarados personally, but I'm not as much of a believer in like the belly drum set, so that's probably part of why.
Look,
I think it's gonna do better with the just band.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it top of B because I tend to agree. I don't think it's as good as some of the other A tier mons that are gonna appear there. But look, maybe later on I'll bump it up if I think it's just on the same level. Now this is an interesting one. Most people probably would have just like chucked Jumpluff straight in trash. I actually played against a dude who was running like a Sun team at like 1700. Yeah, it's like the Tailwind. I think it has Rage Powder, Encore, like
Sleep Powder as well.
Yeah, Sleep Powder as well. Like this mon probably isn't good, but I think if Sun continues to rise, especially too because I think Chi-Yu is like a fantastic mon that loves Tailwind, and obviously like a stab Heat Wave in the Sun from a Chi-Yu is gonna slap shit. So like I think potentially Jumpluff has a niche on like one of those teams. Yeah, what do you guys think? Like I kind of want to say probably not good. I could definitely see it not being good, but I definitely don't think it's trash.
It's not trash. I reckon we could chuck it on C for sure.
You think C?
I think C too.
Yeah,
I think C as well.
I like that. All right, Umbreon. One of my personal favorite mons of all time. It resists the stabs of a lot of the ruin mons. It's just not good, I don't think, but I think it has its niche, right? Stab, foul play, snarl.
I think not does describe it. It's just the thing about Umbreon is it's not it could be and probably not good if there weren't so many good dark types that it's outclassed by. And 4 new dark types coming into the format right now.
Yeah, like I was so excited with this thing getting Calm Mind. I was like, oh yeah, you just go like, bold 252, like HP defense, and then just like click Calm Mind once, and then just live with Snarl, Protect, and lefties. But yeah, I think there's too many good dark types in the game, especially with like some of the Paradox ones we'll get to later. There's a couple good dark types there.
Well with
all the Ruin mons.
Sword,
yeah.
Like that just shuts it down completely.
Probably not good. Sorry, just not good. And now Scizor. Scizor's a mon that I think a lot of people have similar beliefs to me, where this thing has a lot of potential right now. Obviously the Bug Stab is really good into all the Ruin mons. That Bullet Punch is always going to be good as long as Fluttermane exists.
I did feature a Scizor team on my stream the other week, and it honestly went hard.
It does a lot.
Bullet Punch into Fluttermane, having Lunge into the Ruinous mons.
Yeah, it has U-turn as well, like the ability to pivot, getting close combat this gen as well. I think is huge coming off that mon. I don't think it's better than Arzu. It's probably also not better than Gyarados. I think I'm happy just to put it in B tier.
Yeah, I'm happy for that.
Iceword, any
No,
anything to say?
I agree. The only thing I'll say against Caesar is kind of the same thing I said. That's my only problem with D-Knight is like he needs Terra to exist on the field.
That's true.
Like a lot of
Especially-
people think they can slap him on a rain team, but Chi-Yu even in rain is just gonna kill an unterra'd Caesar like no matter what with a fire move. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Look, I'm
but
happy to say
it is
potential.
very strong. It hits very hard into the meta.
I agree.
Sure. I don't mind it in B at all.
Houndoom. Only reason I didn't put it in trash is it did have that one really good placement with Snarl Assault Vest, but I do think with the presence of with Trick Room dropping off, it's probably just trash. Any thoughts there?
No, I'd agree.
Yeah, like I do think it did have that niche of like just countering Armor Rouge and DD, but outside of that, just I think with that dropping
Armor
off,
Rouge and
it's
DD
just
are gonna
dead.
go down,
Yeah.
And more dark types coming in to outclass it. Kinda like Armor Rouge.
All right, so we got some weather coming up now. Because of that, I'm just gonna slide this bad boy up too.
Nice.
T-Tar, thoughts? I'm personally a believer in T-Tar. I would almost argue it's S tier, but I think like it just A is fine for it.
I think B because, well, my argument will always be Chien-Pao. With the fighting stab,
Not all Chien-Pao carry Sacred Sword though. Don't forget.
And it's not stab.
it's Ice Dark.
Yeah.
Normal.
Yeah.
Sacred
It's
Sword
not-
will always kill a T-Tar, so it's kind of irrelevant,
But I think like in that matchup, its defensive stats so nice that if it does Terra, it's eating E-Speed. Like even if you go like Terra Flying, you're eating E-Speed Ice Spinner, and then you're getting off a Rock Slide. You know, I don't think you drop Chien-Pao to its Sash, but you do like 90%. And if the D-Knight doesn't Terra, you're also like chunking that as well. And then on top of that, I think its AV set is like really good into the Flutterfish. I think this mod's just really good. I think Sand is also fantastic for all these people running Focus Sash right now. Yeah, I think it's really solid, especially with low kick as well into like the two bulky Ruin mons. Low kick.
I forget against low kick.
Like low kick on Ting-Lu is like it's like 40 to 50% somewhere in that ballpark. I forget exactly off the top of my head. I haven't calculated it in a couple of weeks, but I would say it's really solid.
Fair enough.
I think it's probably going to be one of the lower in A or one of the higher in B. That's kind of what I think about T-Tar.
All right,
Like it's another mon that kind of requires Terra a lot of the time, but Sand is kind of good, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna leave it an A simply because I'm a believer. But the next
It's
one
your tier list, so I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I love that. All right, Pelipper. So I think Pelipper has potential. Obviously it has the ability to play with Palafin, which is like just a really good mon. But outside of like Palafin, I don't think this mon sees any play.
It's got Wide Guard. Could be handy for the Flutterfish matchup.
I mean, yeah, like Wide Guard is good, I guess, but I don't know. I was a believer of it in Series 2. I just don't know why I would play it right now. That's like kind of like my big issue with it. Like, why would I put it on a team?
If bundle goes down, that's huge stonks. Because
that's
like,
true, actually, yeah.
That was always an Oko, and that was a massive positioning concern. Like, you're not going to get up your Tailwind into a bundle unless you have Sash, and even if you have, like, I don't know. That's just a terrible matchup for Pelipper. So
that's true. That's true.
If there is less bundle, I think that is nice. And people are always looking for Tailwind users other than Talonflame. So
yeah, that's true. That's true. And there's a fantastic one I'll tell you about later. It's a secret source of mine. But I guess last for the weather. Actually, I guess it's not last
one you're thinking of.
Yeah. You guys, I'm a believer. I have just filled our trash tier list up. Part of me like wants to get rid of it. It's taking up so much of the screen. But Torkoal, what is everyone's thoughts on Torkoal?
It's on the rise.
It's on the come up. I think that Lilycole right now is like people are starting to realize like Lilycole is actually like still really good, right? Lilligant outspeeds what's it called? Booster Iron Bundle in Sun, which is like fantastic. The other weathers aren't like as good right now, but yeah.
The issue is it's like having Venusaur back in the meta.
How so?
The speedy sleep powder.
Oh,
Speedy
yeah,
is
yeah.
degenerate.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like
I
they
get
have a
that.
75% chance to hit. If they hit, they have a very good chance to win. If they miss,
Yeah.
they kind of just lose.
Yeah.
So it just feels kind of bad to play into.
You know,
I
get
think
that.
I think Sun is good though.
Yeah,
That's
I
my
think it's
opinion.
really good. Especially I've seen these teams like I think Chris ran one against me on the weekend where it was like Lily Cole paired with D Night Pow, and then it was I think Flutterfish in the back. No, actually I think it was Fluttermane with a Scarf Great Tusk. So it was like Scarf Great Tusk with the attack boost, just like really strong in Sun. I'd say Torkoal's probably A tier. It's arguably the best weather right now, just because obviously like it benefits the Paradox mons. The biggest issue is when you give the opposing Fluttermane like a speed boost and you're giving your own a special attack boost.
That can be a difficult, like the aspect of giving photosynthesis boost to the other team is what like raises the skill ceiling of using Torkoal.
Yeah.
But I think over time people have figured out you don't need Trick Room to run Torkoal. You can run like supportive helping hand Yawn Torkoal. And so I think he's gonna do better now that people are more accustomed to using like non-Trick Room Torkoal.
So are we in agreement that it's probably A? It's like just a really solid
Yeah.
one right now.
Yeah, I'd say A.
And then the last of the weather, it is a Bomber Snow. I actually really like Snow right now. I've been playing it with like Blizzard Spam with Iron Bundle. I also like Aurora Veil, but I don't think Snow is probably like the worst weather until Alolan Ninetales comes back at least. What do you guys think? Potential, probably not good.
I think it's got potential, especially setting up the Aura Veil with the Sash. Yeah, I personally think it does have potential.
And look, I think Blizzard in the snow is like always good because that just like the chance to freeze both mons. It's like it's always there, yeah. Like if you can ever click like like 3 blizzards, like it feels like you're always gonna get at least one like freeze, and then like on top of that, freeze is just like it's the weirdest like mechanic, right? In terms of like the statuses, it's like you could just freeze someone for 5 turns and they just can't do anything about it. So
I'm gonna have to
I
jump.
think it's got potential. Are you jumping off now?
Yeah.
All good. Thank you for coming on, Coco. Obviously, I appreciate it, mate.
Thank you for having me.
No, all good, mate. Good luck.
Look forward to doing another one with you.
Yeah, we'll do. Well, I have to get one once the meta actually starts to develop a bit more, I think.
Done. Sounds like a plan.
Easy. All right. Catch you later, mate.
Later,
Catch you,
Coco.
boys.
All right, Ice. We still have a lot of mons here. So you want to try, we'll try to speed it up a bit more just because we're already like 20 plus minutes in.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Gardevoir. Do you think it's probably not good, or trash?
I never used Gardevoir before. I don't know. I think it's probably not good. I think it's better than the ones that are in. Yeah, if you leave it in D tier, it has to go above all the ones that are there.
Do you think it's better than Umbreon or Gengar?
I think there's more reason to use it. Like you can't like maybe Umbreon is better, but there's more things that outclass it. There's like in terms of like imprison, different things that Gardevoir can do that there's less other things.
Yeah. And look, as a telepathy scarf user, I have seen it with like have success next to like mods like Garchomp, yeah, where you can just spam EQ and then like a scarf dazzling gleam off like a really nice special attack stat. So like
it's just one of those weird niche mons.
Yeah, look, my only issue is I just don't think it's as good as the mons in probably not good. So I think D tier is fine.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what about Gallade? Obviously, it got sharpness this generation. I just. Like, I part of me wants to say not good, but if you told me trash, I'd be happy to put it down there.
I actually think it's probably a C.
You think it's just probably not good? Okay.
Yeah, because I see it pop up on good teams every now and then. It actually gets like really good coverage, and with sharpness, true. you can have a set that kind of deals really well with like you calc for the exact kill that you needed to get, and then you just have like Sacred Sword and Psycho Cut, and then like the third, I don't know. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's easy to use, but it does have a niche. I don't hate it at the top of not good, but
yeah, like I think I'll go with not good again, simply because I just feel like the bonds in the C tier are just a tier above it, and that's my thought process.
I think Jumpluff is for sure better. So
yeah, and I think the Tauruses also have more use. All right, so now we have Breloom. This is obviously always an interesting mod in VGC. you know, with loaded dice right now, its bullet seeds can do a lot of damage with Technician. It's a relatively quick Spore user. I think it's technically the fastest Spore user just because of how obviously Toadscruel's ability works. I think this mon, it either has potential or it's just probably not good. What do you think?
I think it's probably not good personally, as much as that pains me because I like Breloom. I think it just struggles.
Yeah,
but
I think it's
maybe
biggest issue
people will
too.
find it matches up better into Wo-Chien than Amoonguss, but I don't know.
Maybe. I think its biggest issue is there's just no like really good Tailwind setters right now. Like Talonflame's okay, but I don't think it's amazing. And without having like a really reliable Tailwind setter, it's hard to get those like fast spores off. So I think it's just probably not good.
Fair.
Slacking, actually, I think Slacking's just trash. Yeah, no objections to that.
The only thing I'll say is I ran into Weedle Twin Needle. You know who that is, right?
Yeah, I know Weedle Twin.
I ran into them on the ladder testing a slacking team. And the thing is,
where is it?
The core that works with slacking is the Graphrai. Is that the mon?
Yeah, Graphrai. One of my favorite mons this generation.
Here's the thing. I tried that core a little bit at the beginning. I didn't like it. I'm not a slacking believer. I don't hate it in trash. But you can doodle ruin abilities, which you can't doodle the paradox abilities, but you can doodle ruin abilities.
That's
it may still be it may still be trash, but it got slightly better in the trash tier if it's still in trash. So
okay, yeah, look, I think along with Graphrai, look, I love Graphrai so much. It was one of like, when this game released, it was like one of my like top 3, top 5 favorite mons. I just couldn't ever find a reason to use it over Grimmsnarl, which was like kind of like the biggest issue with the mon. But yeah, that's why I'll kind of leave it there. But next, Hariyama. I think this mon is obviously it's just the poor man's Iron Hands. It has a niche in like in Trick Room teams, but I don't know. Look, it's probably not good. I want to say it's better than the not good mons, but what do you think?
It's like you said, it does have niche things that you would do and want it over Iron Hands, like Wide Guard, Guts, if you really need like protection from Spore, I guess, or something.
Oh, even Burn, yeah. The ability to just take a burn and like do something.
Yeah, so it's probably not good. It has a huge HP pool.
Yeah, no, I like that. Now Sableye. Sableye actually won me my very first ever draft league I played. I think this mon's got potential. But I think its biggest issue is the Ruin mons are so good and you can't prankster dark types. So that kind of makes me want to kind of like drop it to probably not good, but I mean, I'm happy with either of them, right? Like it can set screens, it has fake out, it has burn. Obviously the Encore disable stuff's super annoying, but yeah, what are your thoughts?
I'd agree pretty much exactly with what you're saying. Like it got worse, but it's still like
it's got potential.
A pretty good support, yeah.
It's got potential. All right, we'll go with that. All right, now Salamence, one of my all-time favorites, arguably my favorite mon, definitely S tier. Maybe it has potential.
I've seen really good Salamence teams. I just think it needs the right Terra and the right support and the right set. I think
it's in a position where it's definitely one of the better Tailwind setters, being that it has the ability to also, you know, intimidate you while setting up the Tailwind. I did play it on a Chi-Yu team way back at the start of Regulation C, where it was like my Tailwind setter with what was I running it with? It might have actually even been Gravity I had on the team. That way I could just run like I think I was playing like Scope Lens, Hurricane, and Draco Meteor. So it's like Scope Lens, Hurricane, Draco, Focus, Energy, Tailwind with like Chi-Yu, and it actually did work. I think it's just outclassed. It's not the best Intimidate mon, it's not the best Tailwind mon, it's not the best Dragon type to launch off, you know, like Draco Meteors. So I'd say it has potential, but I'm also biased. Like as I said, it's probably my favorite Pokemon of all time. So
I think it's perfect for the potential tier because the tools are there, right?
Yeah.
And it is outclassed by some things, and I think it has like it's so much easier to just slap an Arcanine on your team as an Intimidate user, but there's gotta be a niche for Salamence.
Yeah. And I mean, look, you've seen it on Rain teams in the past, right? Where people run it as like the Tailwind setter in Rain with Hurricane. So I look, it's got potential.
And there's the nice tech if you have it next to Palafin and you set your Palafin to outspeed it, and you use Draco Meteor, and you can haze your own Salamence to like keep Draco Meteoring over and over.
That's kind of cool.
That was on the team that got third at San Diego, had that tech. He had haze Palafin, and it outsped the Draco Meteor. Yeah. Anyway, there were multiple things. It was Golden Go also that he could haze.
Okay, that's interesting. I like that. All right, so we have Gastro. We'll put the pink one in F tier because obviously it's shit. But where do you have the blue one? Obviously, as we said, Iron Bundle is slowly falling off. I still think Iron Bundle is going to be good. It'll probably still be on like, you know, at least 10 to 20% of teams. But it's not going to be like the 50+% usage it had before. But also Palafin is just the mon just gets better. I swear, like, people just didn't realize how good it was in like series 1. Like, I think Palafin just keeps getting better and better and better, and because of that, Gastrodon's always going to have a niche. Look, I think it's got potential, especially too because like Dozo's another mon out there that's like pretty popular. This can run Clear Smog. Obviously, it has access to Recover. It's decent. Like, people used to use it into Garganackle with Covert Cloak. Obviously, I think Garg is kind of dropping off, but in saying that, with Wo-Chien, Ting-Lu, it could just like shoot straight back up.
Yeah. I think Gastrodon is going to be really good just because I think the early meta, like, there is a lot of hyper offense, but I know you've seen people running like the I'm sorry.
Power Knight?
Like the stall stuff with Ting-Lu and Wo-Chien next to each other, like healing each other, spamming Snarl, that type of stuff. Yeah. That exists. And then there's like Perish Trap still, there's Glamora. So like on those kind of teams, having something that can wall Palafin specifically and then also yawn and like boost its defensive stats. The only problem is it doesn't exert a ton of offensive pressure.
Yeah. But, I mean, look, if it ever eats a water type move, like at +1, it's like Muddy Waters and its Earth Powers are solid. Even its Ice Beams. But yeah, I think you're right. I think on the right team, this could be like really good. Like you could almost argue it's really solid.
Yeah.
But especially too, like as we were saying, if ones like Gyarados and Arzu are on the rise, like if you look at the B tier right now, like 3 of the 7 mods we have are water types in it. Like, you know, Arzu's a one that could be really good, and this hard walls Arzu. Same with Gyarados. If people are going to start running this, you know, this Whirlpool Thunder Wave Waterfall set, you can't Whirlpool it, you can't Thunder Wave it, and you can't Waterfall it. So like it hard counters that. I think it's definitely one that has potential. I'll just leave it here. Like this isn't really in any order. I think like Abomasnow is probably like the worst.
Yeah.
These here,
I think
like,
Sableye is probably worse than it, but it might be worse than Salamence.
I think
it's definitely worse than Pelipper.
Yeah, like they have their niches, and I think that's what's cool. But yeah, I'm happy for it to be there.
Some of the Pokemon in B tier can be very strong, like in their niche on the right team. They can feel like an S tier mon because they have the right matchups for them.
Very true. Very true. All right, we'll try to rapid fire this. Lucario, this mod had its niche in Series 2 with like the Bullet Punch Vacuum Wave stuff. It's probably just trash, no arguments to that.
Nope.
Bronzong as a Trick Room setter. I have seen this on the rise. I definitely say it's at least probably C tier. Any arguments to that, higher or lower?
I haven't seen it do anything, so I honestly can't comment. I like haven't even seen it around. So if you're saying you've seen it do stuff,
I've been messed up by like 2 of them. That's why I'm gonna say it's probably not good. But if people find a way to run Trick Room, I definitely think this mod on Trick Room could be really good. Obviously Heat Proof is like decent into like Chien-Pao, sorry, to Chi-Yu. But obviously with like Pow and Flutter Mane, you know, respectively on each of those like hyper aggressive cores, the Dark Stab and the Ghost Stab is like really good into it, which kind of makes it slightly worse. But I think if Trick Room does find a place, Bronzong could definitely be really good on one of those teams.
I could see it. Yeah.
Now Garchomp. This is a mon that if you, I don't know how much you followed tournaments pre-Series 1. Garchomp was a mon that like right before Series 1 dropped, this mon was like winning tournaments. Like people like really started realizing how good this was. And I believe that this one will continue to get better as the format like progresses. I think the matchups that Great Tusk struggled into, like as a ground type, Garchomp's just better in, right? Like it's faster, which means it has the ability to under Tailwind outspeed things that Great Tusk couldn't, like boost a bundle. Obviously the Dragon Stab can be nice. It has access to the Rock Slide. It's a lot bulkier on the special side as well, so it doesn't necessarily have to like run Sash or AV. I would say this mod's really solid. I think it's A tier, and I think it's only gonna get better from here.
Yeah, and if we're expecting bundle to go down, that's obviously stonks for
Yeah,
him too,
true.
so.
Yeah, if we lose the best ice type in the tier, then yeah. But again, I think this is just. It's the same as Great Tusk. It's really, really good at what it does. Great Tusk obviously kind of outclassed it because of it had the strongest stabs that were also single target. But this mon, I think with Clear Amulet, with Sword Dance, Terrafire as well, there's a Life Orb sets. I think this mon's really good and could definitely find a place as the meta progresses. The Rotoms. Do you think anything from Fan to Mo are good? So, Fridge to Mo. Do you think these three are just all trash?
It's tempting to say that they're all kind of D, just because like Terra allows them to like
That's
Terra
true,
Electric, have the double electric stab, and Rotom's just like a good Pokemon generally. But they are like, it's a little different to be outclassed by literally yourself, like literally the same Pokemon.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna argue with them.
Look,
in trash.
I would say these two are these have a niche, yeah. Rotom Mo, you could argue has a niche. I just don't think it's a good niche right now. But I guess these two, would you say they're maybe probably not good? Like Rotom's just like always a good one, but like I wouldn't say they have potential. Yeah, I think with Disquake not being that great, they're probably not good, maybe not good. Do you have a strong opinion either way?
I don't. I really don't. I don't know what to think of Rotom's performance.
I haven't seen enough out of Rotom. I'm gonna put it here.
Yeah.
Not good. I just think like the niche is there, right? These mons have Will-O-Wisp. They're incredibly bulky. They have great stabs. They have Levitate, which is obviously always fantastic. But
Volt Switch.
yeah, I think in the current format, they don't fit on the hyper aggressive teams and they don't fit on the stall teams. So I'm just gonna say they're not good, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see some results in the future. Lilligant, this is another one that's been on the rise recently. Obviously it's not as good as its best friend Torkoal, but I mean this one has potential. Like
It's B. It has a good supportive moveset.
Very quick, very good support. Yeah,
decent offensive.
I don't think we need to say too much about it. I think it's just solid in B. Gothitelle. This is a mon that just again, it's similar to Palafin. I feel like it just keeps getting better. Like people just start throwing it on more and more teams, and you just realize, like, damn, like the ability to trap things in is just good. Like I saw a team on the weekend. It might have actually been the team that won. Run a very similar team to my OCIC team, which was like the Talon Task with like T-Tar and whatnot. And they were just like, they just slapped a Gothitelle in the last slot. I think I had a Golden Go in the slot. They just had a Gothitelle and they won the tournament. I mean, it's just good. Like it works well on Perish Trap. It's really good on hyper offense, giving Fake Out support, and again, just the ability to trap stuff. I think it's A.
So we haven't talked that much about like open team sheet versus ladder.
That's
for
true,
how good the mons are. I would just say, like, I don't hate it in A at all. But Gothitelle is better in open team sheet than ladder because you know whether you're going to see like a Ghost Terra, for instance.
That's true.
But I like it. It's really solid. It's unique.
Yeah. And I mean, look, I'm trying to be very general anyway. Like, obviously, you know, certain mods are going to be better in open team
it's
sheet
not
than
going to be perfect. I just thought I thought it was worth mentioning.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. I think it's good to obviously mention it, and then also just like know that we're, I guess, considering both, right? Like, yeah, it's maybe not as good on like ladder, but like you could almost argue it's an S tier in tournament play. Like, knowing how you can play around your Goth, what you can trap, what you can't trap. I think, yeah, it's just the mon's good. The next mon though might be even better. Amoonguss. What are your thoughts on the shroom?
I think it went up Series 2, and I think it's going to go further up in Series 3.
I think you could argue it's the best one in VGC right now, honestly. Like, it's just... the redirection's good, the spore's good. Giving this thing access to Terra is insane. Yeah, I mean, look, I think it's a clear S tier. This mon's it's too good. There's a reason it gets all the results it gets. I'm honestly surprised it's not on more teams, but yeah. I guess you're happy with S.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm
Easy
gonna
to
put,
use, enables whole styles of team play. Yeah.
Yeah.
Palafin balance wouldn't really come together without the regenerator and the pollen puff, and yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. All right, we'll speed throw some of these into trash again. Haxorus, I'm sure you're okay with that.
Trash.
Bishop, are you okay with that in trash?
There's no reason to run Bisharp over King Gambit ever.
Yeah, no, I respect that. I respect that. Vivillon, you can stay there. Chucky there. Dragalge in trash, yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, okay,
It
Go-Go's
needs
trash.
Trick Room.
Dedenne, you're trash. You're trash. Klefki, you're not trash. Holucha, you okay with that in trash?
Sadly, yes.
Yeah. Noivern, sadly, Gurudra, probably the only pseudo-legend you'll ever see in the F tier. I mean, Gurudra has some niche. Are you okay with that?
I think it's got to be D, purely based on its...
Look, you're probably
its,
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. You're there. Toxapex, thoughts on Toxapex in F tier? I know there've been some interesting sets pop up with it, but I just don't think they're good.
It does have a niche on stall teams, but I don't hate it in F or D.
Yeah,
I hate Toxapex so much.
Yeah, because like what people were running, it was like Binding Band Whirlpool, right? With like toxic spikes or something like that, or toxic. I think.
I saw.
Oh, Infestation. Sorry, yes, you're right. Infestation. Yeah. Yeah. Look, it has this weird niche, but I hate it, and I don't ever want to see it anywhere.
It loses to Garganackle too, unless you tier.
Yeah, true.
Or, Terra. So that's bad.
Arangaru's probably not F tier, is it? I think it's at least D. Kamala, you're there.
Yeah, it's like the best. We're one of the best Trick Room.
Passimian, are you okay with that in F tier?
Yes.
Sandy, sorry, all the Oricoreos.
Palisand needs Greninja, and then it can be in D tier.
Yeah, Lycanroc, I think definitely Midnight's in F tier. Do you think Dusk is in F tier?
Yeah, I do.
Alright, and we'll keep speedrunning some of these. Broxis, I've seen people use it. I still think it's F tier. Crabomodel's bad. You're bad. You're bad.
Contrary.
Do you think Toxtricity's in F tier, or do you think it's worthy of at least a D?
I don't think so.
You don't think it's worthy of a D?
I think people are figuring out Belly Bullet right now. Even like I just don't. Yeah, I would probably sooner use a Rotom.
Yeah.
I think.
All right, what about Colossal? Obviously, it's had its niches in the past. I just don't think it has a partner to play with right now, does it?
Yeah, and it did so much better in the Dynamax format with Falclith.
Indeedee male, probably just trash, right? Like, there's no reason to run it over female.
Yeah, and there's no reason. There's no Trick Room to imprison. That was like one of its niches, and it's basically gone.
That one pains me seeing Frostmoth. Actually, what Pincurchin? Does Pincurchin deserve at least a D because it has a niche?
I don't know. It fell off so hard, and like I saw some people trying to bring Pincurchin teams, like when the Paradox Mons first became available, and I never saw one of them like accomplish anything. But
yeah, I know the homie Jonzu was saying like he had like a Pincurchin team that was supposed to be like really good. I just don't know if it actually ever did anything. That's like the only issue with it. But yeah, okay, we've just cleared out a lot of the stuff here, man. Like, look at all that fucking F tier. Holy crap, that's big.
Yeesh.
All right, we'll go back to some of the fun stuff. Hydreigon, one of my personal favorite mons. This was my favorite mon to use in Series 1.
Me too.
It's probably not good. Like, it's outclassed by a lot of dark types. Its speed tier isn't as good anymore. Yeah, do you think it's like, is it worthy of a probably not good? Should it drop? Should it maybe rise? Like, is there a niche maybe that people haven't found yet?
There are so many good dragons, and it does get a decent move pool. I don't think it's as good as Salamence. I think fairy coverage is only going to go up, unfortunately.
I agree. I think the physical fairies like Arzu and Mimikyu are both on the rise as well. People are starting to run a lot more play rough, so that obviously hurts it too. I do think it's a
like
that
it
just
fell off
relies on
so
Terra.
hard in Series 2.
I think,
and like you said, even in Series 1 when it was really good, you terra'd your Hydreigon like a lot, or at least I did.
Yeah, so did I. It's like you didn't want to ever leave it as, you know, you wanted it to be fire, steel, or poison. Right, that all of them fantastic defensive typings, all of them are weak to ground, and obviously will levitate, you dodge it. I honestly think if this mon was 2 points faster in its speed, like it would probably have potential, but not hitting that 100 base speed, I think hurts this mon so much, especially when the deck starts to expand. But yeah, I think it's just probably not good. Volcarona, obviously this is a very versatile mon. It can sweep you, it can wall you, not wall you, sorry, it can redirect you into flame body. What do you think? Part of me like wants to lean towards like really good, but I don't know if I can say it's better than like Azu.
I think it is personally.
Do you think it's like top of B, maybe low C? Like, yeah, like I could
I
definitely
think
see.
it's I think it's low A just because
It does so much,
tailwind,
right?
redirection.
Yeah, true. It's a
bug coverage just got better.
yeah. Struggle Bug 2 is also really nice right now. Like you don't want to like ever swap in mons into Struggle Bug. Yeah, look, I'm happy with this. I think, as you said, it sets Tailwind. It's a good redirection mon. Really good support. Really good offense too. Like, what is it? 100 speed, 135 special attack, or 130 special attack. If you get a Quiver Dance up, this mon can rip straight through. So yeah, look, I'm happy for low A. I don't think it's.
I think it's definitely a tier above Caesar if I were to directly compare them to.
Yeah,
like,
look, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the issue when you have a tier like this B tier is like I definitely think Azu's worse than everything here, but like a Bomber Snow is like, dude, like I don't even know if a Bomber Snow is better than Hydreigon. Like maybe this is like probably not. Nah, I think Snow has a niche. I don't know.
Yeah, see, it's weird to say because it's like if you were forced to use a team, Hydreigon might do pretty well. But if you were making a team, you might never put Hydreigon just because like there's other things that do the things it does better.
I mean, that's
but
the thing,
nothing
right?
else. That's Snow.
Yeah. Nah, so yeah, I think I'm good with that there. Vivillon, this is a mon that we saw rising quite a lot at the end of Series 2. Actually, not really at the end of Series 2, was it? It was like middle of Series 2, I think, with all the Japanese teams. How do you think it's going to be going forward? Obviously, I think it's kind of outclassed by another one we'll talk about shortly. That is a Friend Guard user. Do you still think it has potential? Obviously, it's a Friend Guard mon with Tailwind, which is always nice. Has a Rage Powder. Yeah, what do you think? I'd say it's either low B, maybe high C.
I don't have a ton of experience with or against that. That's the only reason. And I see its stats are very, very bad, but obviously like Friend Guard negates.
It relies
some
on
of
the
that.
sash, yeah. I think compared to some of the other redirection mons like even Mousehold like can get away without running focus sash. Obviously Shroom doesn't need it. Volk doesn't need it. It is the one redirection mon that needs it, but it's also like the one redirection mon that always wants to be like max speed. It fires off obviously a stab pollen puff, so with like, max speed, max special attack. It's actually, the pollen puff hits pretty hard. And obviously against mons like Ting-Lu and Wo-Chien, like there's always a niche there because I do think it always one-shots Wo-Chien. Obviously redirection, Tailwind, even Sleep Powder. So like there's always a niche there, and that's why I kind of want to say it has potential, because like while I think Hydreigon's a better Pokemon, I think you could fit this on a team easier than you could fit Hydreigon on a team.
I don't hate it. I'm not a super believer in it. Like I said, I have limited experience. I don't hate it in B tier.
Yeah.
Like you said, it does have a lot of tools. You can go, what's the ability that gives you Compound Eyes?
Yeah, Compound Eyes.
You can do
Sleep
that,
Powder.
and then you have an accurate Sleep Powder and an accurate Hurricane.
Yeah, true. That's very true.
So
yeah, now look, I'm happy for it to have
two viable
in
abilities.
So. Now what about this mon? So I've heard some stories about it. I've never tested Florges myself, but I've seen people saying this with Symbiosis, I think it is, next to a Paradox mon could be really good. So like, for example, you could like say give your Roaring Moon like booster speed, and then like on that same turn give it a Choice Band or like a Life Orb. Like obviously I think if you're running booster speed on Moon, you're probably running Acrobatics. But again, you could do it with like a Flutter Mane, yeah? You give it that speed boost and then you give it a Choice Specs. Or, something along those lines.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting tech. I just don't know what else does it do, I guess, would be my question.
That's the thing, yeah. Like, it's bulky, it has a decent special attack. Like, I don't think it's good. Yeah, like, again, Fairy does obviously, like, kind of make me want to kind of babysit, probably not good. I just don't think it's good. It's hard for me to say it's better than the Rotoms, even, like, Gengar. But there is that one niche of, like, Symbiosis with Energy Booster. But are you okay with DT?
Not good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's solid. Gudra, we spoke about it before. I don't think this mon's good, but its base stats are so high that it's, I'm happy with D tier. Like, it doesn't do anything better than any dragon or any of the pseudo legends. Yeah.
Outclassed, but still not terrible.
This one is a heated one for me. Talonflame. I love Tailwind. I hate building teams without Tailwind. I just don't love this one because of how they've nerfed Gale Wings. What are your thoughts?
I think it has to be A tier just because of priority Tailwind, and like there is a decent amount. Like, it's not just Will-O-Wisp, Tailwind, Brave Bird. There is like Taunt. There
Flare
is Quick
Blitz.
Guard.
Yeah, true.
There is Flare Blitz.
Look, I love Talonflame as a mon. I just hate the nerf to its Gale Wings. Like, obviously this one with Terra Ghost does make up for it, right? Like, it's good in that sense against your Dragon Knights and stuff like that. But it's like its biggest issue, like, is obviously turn one. I don't think there's any one priority move that's gonna like break your Gale Wings before you get the Tailwind off. Like, a lot of the mons that you look at with priority right now, just they don't outspeed you unless it's like, you know, I don't know, like a Lichen Rock in your Adamant.
You mean with Terra Ghost, right?
Yeah. No, sorry, with one prior. Obviously, E-Speed gets you with, like, with
speed,
with two prior, but there's like E-Speed's the only way really to break this thing's Gale Wings, which is why like Terra Ghost is so good. Obviously Fake Out's another one as well, which obviously helps out with. But I just don't love having to Terra this mon just to get off a Tailwind. But in saying that, I do think it's still really good. I think it's arguably the best Tailwind setter in the game. Obviously being off the ground too helps with you know, the Earthquake spam people like. Yeah, I think it's good in A tier.
I think a lot of people in the community are like you. They're a little frustrated with building with Talonflame, but it's like a necessary evil because like you are building a team, and it's like, well, I need Tailwind. This is the best Tailwind user. Like,
yeah, and like, look, I love Tailwind. Tailwind has always been my favorite, you know, way to build a team. But it feels bad when like there's only one mon. Like, I love like playing Whimsicott. I'm not gonna lie, I think Whimsicott's so much better than Talonflame. At least I enjoy it a lot more. But yeah, look, we'll hopefully get Whimsicott soon. Anyway, the keys, Clef Key, probably just a B tier. I think it's good. Set screens. Good, really good typing. You know, can Thunder Wave. Anything else I'm missing there? It's just like a bulkier Grimmsnarl kind of.
It gets actually a decent amount of support moves. So it gets Rain Dance, and it gets Sunny Day.
Okay.
It gets Misty Terrain, so you can protect your team from like status.
I do always forget about Misty Terrain actually. Something I don't consider often enough. But yeah, I think it's just a decent support mon. I'd say it's probably B tier. Any arguments to that?
No, I think that's right.
All right, love that. All right, Sylveon. I think this mon's kind of slept on. I think it's a bulkier Flutter main. Is the way I kind of like to look at it. Like, if you want to run like a more balanced team and like you don't think Flutter main fits, I think Sylveon is like the fairy type for you. I think it's just like probably the second best fairy in the format. I think it's really solid. If you argued top of B, I'd say I'd be okay with it. But
I want to put it in A. I'm a believer. I really liked Sylveon in Series 1. I think people understandably fell in love with Fluttermane. But it's like you said, there's going to be bulkier teams that are going to value the bulk from Sylveon. The quick attack. I was never a huge believer in that gimmick. I was always the one saying like quick attack Sylveon sucks, but like I've seen it like do so much utility.
Oh man, yeah, I love
the
it.
New meta.
Every time I've played Sylveon, I've had quick attack. I can't play without it now. It's like Hyper Voice, Terra Blast, quick attack, protect.
Yeah, I think fairies are like too good now. They're getting. I think it dropped off a little bit in Series 2, understandably, but it's going to be even better now. So
yeah, no, I 100% agree. I think it's really good. Oranguru, we kind of touched on it before. I think it's just probably not good simply because Trick Room's fallen off. Like, it has its niche of, you know, inner focus Trick Room. You can't flinch it. It's pretty bulky with Terra. Like, you're almost never going to pick it up. Then it can obviously start firing off the instructs. You know, you see it run with mons like Torkoal and whatnot. But I do think Trick Room right now just isn't good. I think that the power creep is too high. Like, you can't really lead this thing into like a Flutterfish. They're just doing way too much damage. Even like a Power Knight, you know, it's really hard to like Terra into something that eats like the E-Speed and then either one of the stabs out of the Chien-Pao. So I think it's probably not good. It definitely has a niche, but yeah. Do you agree?
I agree with pretty much everything you said.
Yeah.
I think it's maybe a little better than Bronzong just because you have Instruct and you have like Telepathy.
That's
you
true.
You have Symbiosis text as well. So like there is things it can do, but it's like you say. You're saying it's like it is Trick Room on and Trick Room is down. So
yeah. All right. Salazzle, I believe this is the fastest fake out mon we have currently. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think you're right.
Look, I want to say the mon has potential. Obviously it was picking up a lot in Series 1. I think it had a bit of use at the beginning of Series 2. I just think because no one played it throughout Series 2, it's just probably not good. Like its niches there, like the overheat eject pack for like fake out spamming, for fake out cycling. There's always like people like you could go like corrosion toxic into some of these bulkier teams as well. But yeah, I think it's just probably not good. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with you. Probably not good.
Yeah, I think that's it, right? Like I know people who like fell in love with this one, but I'm happy for it to be there. Now Serena, used to be like the only mon that could stop priority moves. Now there's a few. Look, I think it's just probably not good, right? It has its niche again. Like it's this, it's this like grass type. It's attack stats pretty decent. I think it's like base 110. Like it can do stuff. I just think it's probably not good.
I'm trying to think of a better offensive grass type.
Meowscarada.
Yeah.
By the way, that's another mon we'll touch on soon. I do think people are underrating Meowscarada right now. I think that's a mon that we're gonna see on the rise, especially into these like these Wo-Chiens and stuff like that. The ability to like always crit them is really nice. I
like it in C though.
Yeah,
I feel like people are always telling me Serena's slept on, and I never see it actually doing.
Yeah,
it.
I agree.
Slow.
Dude, in one of the discords I think we're in the other day, like someone was dropping like all their calcs for Serena, like saying like, hey, this thing's like good. It's just look, it's not my cup of tea, but I'm sure someone who likes playing that style of game will make it work. But next one, Mimikyu, one of the best typings in the game. Its attack stat is only 90, but I think if it was any higher, the mon would be broken. I think it's an A tier. I know Joe UX9 just got second place with it at Charlotte over the weekend, I think. It's immune to the E-speed. It has the ability to threaten and take the KO on the Chien-Pao. Obviously really good into the Flutter main mirrors. I just think this mon's really good. What are your thoughts?
I love Mimikyu. Mimikyu was on the first ever team I played in a tournament online. I love Mimikyu. No Mimikyu hate ever.
I love it. And look, this mon does a lot. Yeah, it can be a support mon. It's got the curse for the dozo. It can throw out Will-O-Wisps. I've seen
Swords Dance, Shadow Sneak.
Life Orb 3
best
attack.
Trick Room user, even though that's down. But
yeah, I mean it's a super reliable Trick Room user. Like you can't fake it out. You almost can never kill this thing in one shot because of its ability.
Does it still get Pain Split?
I don't know. Couldn't tell you that one. Sorry, but yeah.
But look, it gets a ton of moves for sure.
Look,
and physical fairy.
I love Mimikyu right now. The only issue I have with Mimikyu is I'm a creature of habit and I put Flutter Mane on every single team I play. But occasionally, if I ever think, hey, I need a physical attacker, there's always Mimikyu there. But yeah, I think Mimikyu is really good. Really, really good. Lycanroc Midday. This is a mon that's only niche is with Tita, but I think its niche is still really good. I think it's like Tita plus this into Flutterfish is nice. Obviously, it is the fastest weather abuser in the game, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's faster than Floatzel. Is it
faster than Lilligant?
Yeah. Lilligant's slow as shit.
Yeah.
Like Lilligant's like base 90. This is like 117.
Okay.
Yeah, this thing is like it's so quick. Like you outspeed bundle with Adamant, like relatively easy, I think as well. Maybe not easy, but I know you definitely get there with Adamant, even if it's just. But I think it has potential. It's only got one good set in my opinion. That's the Focus Sash, Endure, Endeavor, Rock Slide stuff. Like you can maybe drop one of them. You can go like Endeavor, like Rock Slide CC. I think is really good with Protect. You can drop Protect. Go Terror Ghost. I think this mon's like it's got its niche, but I think it's definitely got potential.
Yeah, personally, I'd probably rate it lower just because I'm not a huge Lycanroc believer and I'm not a huge believer in that Sand Core. But if you are.
I'm a believer. Yeah, I've played a bit of it. I think it's pretty solid.
Sand is one of those things. I feel like some people they really like it. It fits their play style, and other people are just like, eh.
Yeah. Nah,
For me, I feel like almost every team I see with Lycanroc and T-Tar on it, they almost always lead it, and then I feel like I ignore the Lycanroc and just kill the T-Tar, and the Lycanroc can almost never do anything if I don't set up its Endeavor.
Yeah.
So.
Or unless it flinches
my
you.
own bias,
30% of the time it does a lot.
I don't super respect things that they're like you can quickly force them into a way where it's like, okay, I have to hit this Rock Slide and flinch to win.
Yeah.
Like
I'll
take a loss to a flinch and then usually win.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel.
That's fair enough. Do you want to quickly do some trash tiers here? Mudra, do you think it's worthy of a D? Trash. Okay. I think this is trash too. I don't think it has a use outside of Even in rain, I don't think it's the best rain abuser. Would you say it's trash?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I've never used it, but it's probably
Yeah.
trash.
Also, talking about Lycanroc being the fastest weather abuser, I was wrong. Barraskewda is.
Barraskewda.
I don't think Barraskewda is trash. Thoughts?
I don't either.
Love that. Pincurchin, will we saying it was trash or no?
It
I
as
think-
the
I
only
think it's
electric
trash.
train setter, there's maybe an argument for D, but my instinct is trash.
Yeah, look,
personally.
I agree. Like, I hesitated to put it here before, but the more I think about it, I'm just never going to run Pincurchin. Like, I'd honestly prefer run electric terrain over Pincurchin. Stone Journey, Mr. Power Spot Man. I don't think do you think he's trash? I think he's probably at least D, right?
Seen him, he's top cut quite a few tournaments I've seen.
That's true. Yeah, look, we'll
It's
leave
kind of weird, but
I think we
it
could
is a
agree Meowscarada and Skeldirty are at least D tier. What about Quack? I actually think Quack has a niche. I'm just like, I don't want to say it's D tier, but I'm also biased. I love Quackleval, so it's like it's probably trash, but I don't want to put it in trash. Can
the
you convince me
problem,
otherwise?
I'm like you. I like him. I think it would be cool if we could kind of find a niche for him. I just don't know what it is. You know what I mean?
I agree. Look,
I feel like if you could figure out a way to get him on the field and get his like sweep going, but I don't think he's a good lead, and he's also frail, so I don't know. He's tough to maneuver, and I feel like he needs the right matchup.
I agree.
So why not just use Palafin that can actually kill water resists?
Yeah. Rabska. I think it has a niche, but it's probably F. Yeah.
Yeah, sadly, well, it's Trick Room again.
What about Houndstone? I mean, again, also has a niche. It's a good support in Sand, which is like one niche it has going for it. But I mean, it's probably F, right? Like, I don't think this mon is doing it, is it?
Maybe. I mean, I do see it in Sand teams. I'm not a huge believer in Sand again.
I'm gonna leave it. I think it's at least D. Esparthra, I think, is at least D. I think these mons are at least D. Scovillain. F tier?
I don't hate it. The stats are like, I feel like with the typing, I feel like someone could figure out something up with it, but
yeah. Now look, I actually like Scovillain, so I'll leave it for D tier. Bellybolt. I mean, it has a use, yeah. I think it's probably D tier.
Yeah, D tier at least.
The arguably the best Shedtail user in the game. I've seen it been used. I don't think it's good.
Do you think if Garchomp goes up, that helps it though? I mean, Garchomp is really just replacing Great Tusk in the meta. It's not like it had to play. I don't know.
Yeah, look, it's annoying on Showdown. I don't think it's getting results. This is the same Pokemon, so we'll go with House of 3 just because it's I think this is the rare one. My boy Titan, one of my favorite mons in the game. Probably not D tier, is it?
Wait, did you just put Mousehold in?
No. So that's yeah. Look, I'll leave it here. No. It's
okay.
I was planning on using this one. I was just putting it there simply to get it off the list. Yeah.
Fair enough. Sorry.
No, all good. Nah, Mousehold's trash. What are you talking about? Backs, blah, blah, blah. What about all the Tatsuguris? I mean, they all have a niche. Do we just want to like use the orange one just because I think it's like the best one?
Yeah, that's
like
fine.
These aren't trash. I'm just gonna say that now. They're just here because they're kind of placeholders. Oh, actually, which one's Speed Boost? Is yellow Speed Boost?
I don't remember.
Look, we'll leave it anyway. Like, I think orange is good. It's the attack boost. The speed boost one's also like really good. The defense one sucks. Cyclizar, I love this mon, but I think it's trash. Agree, disagree?
I agree.
Pawmot, I think it has a use. Bombardier's trash. These are all trash. Do you think Flamigo's good? Like, it's lost its own niche, right?
Showdown Pokemon to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in trash. Cloth is trash. Dash Bun. This is a mon that's been picking up a lot lately. It's probably not F tier, is it?
I watch a streamer who plays a Dash Bun team, and low key, like with the Trick Room Armarouge Torkoal core, it's very good because like you get it into Trick Room, you get it behind a sub, and then you just click like Lava Plume, and like if you have the right matchup for Dash Bun, it can work. It's not F tier, is what I'll say.
Yeah,
it's hard to use. It needs a lot of support. It's a project where you like Dash Bun and you want, you know what I mean?
I have also seen the Scarf Chiyus do work with it, where they're like really bulky Chiyu with like just Scarf, lot of speed. Yeah, and they just plume. You burn everything, and yeah. Now I think the last F tier mon potentially here is Mastiff Boss. I actually love this mon, but I think it's trash. Do you agree, disagree? My balls,
Sadly, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I think the rest of these all deserve a tier, which is, fuck, man, we've still got so many to go, and we're like an hour in. Fuck. All right. Let's try speedrun these. Barrascuda. Fast weather setter hits really hard. I think it's probably not good. Agree?
Sadly, Frail probably goes a little bit up because bundle's gone, I guess. But
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I love it. I still think it has a niche. Corviknight, I think we were talking about this just before. I think Corviknight has potential.
Yeah.
Very bulky, very good typing. It's a tailwind setter. Very good ability. I do think the ability drops off a little bit now that bundle is not going to be around, because the ability to swap in and lower its speed is nice. But yeah, I think it's a B tier. Indeedee female. How do you feel about Indeedee female now that the size spam is not as good?
I think it's still busted.
Yeah, I still think this is a underexplored redirection mon. You could almost argue it's the second best redirection mon. I think in terms of redirection, I think it's better than Volk. But because Volk is just a better all-round mon, I think it's a little worse. But I think its ability to stop priority is fantastic. I have played it like bulky Rocky Helmet into the what is it, Dragonite Chien-Pao, because with Rocky Helmet you break the sash and then you can like follow up the one shot with something like a Fluttermane Dazzling Gleam into it, which is really nice. So I'd say it's still A tier, really solid. Grimmsnarl, bulky screen setter. What are your thoughts? I'd say it's at least B tier. You could argue A.
I'd agree.
What do you lean towards? Because I kind of lean towards A. I think screens isn't getting played much at all right now. But
yeah.
I definitely think screens could pick up, just because like you know, the ability to like set screens in front of like such an aggressive team like Power Knight, and then like, you know, potentially have like a mouse ape in the back or something is like really good. Like, I think if you can get screens up and then bring in a friend guard mon, you're in a really good position.
I think putting it a tier above Sableye and Klefki and in the same tier as Indeedee is like right for Grimmsnarl, personally.
Yeah, no, I like that.
There it is.
That's great. Hat. This is a mon that saw a surge towards the end of Series 2. But I think with Trick Room falling off, this mon's probably just not good, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think if it had Expanding Force, it would probably have potential. It kind of is a missing piece that I think Trick Room needs, but right now Trick Room just feels bad. All right, my boy Dragapult, another one of my all-time favorites. I think it's really good. I played a team that had this as the dragon with Chien-Pao, and I think the fact that you can run like Banded, be faster than like everything, even like Life Orb, what is it? Life Orb Dragon Dance is also like really solid. I just think it's a really good mod. Really good typing. Like its dual stab is like obviously fantastic. Yeah, thoughts? Do you agree, disagree?
I sadly very much disagree. I love Dragapult too. I'm a big fan. I just think it's such low bulk, and its speed tier is more relevant now. Maybe that's the only thing making me think like, hey, Dragapult could maybe make a little comeback. Is like it's faster than Chien-Pao, right?
Yes, yeah, it's still the fastest mon in the meta. The only thing in Scarlet and Violet that outspeeds it is Electrode, which obviously is
does make this.
So my only question is, have you played it with Chien-Pao?
I have not.
Alright, I'll give you a little calc here because I'm saucy, yeah. So a banded Terra Dragon Dragon Dart next to a Chien-Pao will more often than not one-shot a no bulk Chi-Yu with just one dart.
Mm-hmm.
So one dart will kill the Chi-Yu if it's not bulky. So like the you know, like the timid max speed spec says, you will one-shot it, which is like really good. And again, maybe it's just my bias. I want to say it's really good, like really solid.
Yeah, that's. I mean, if you believe in it, I personally think it struggles with bulk. I think there's like other dragons that would be like easier to use. I wouldn't be like that surprised to see Dragapult pop off compared to some of the other mons like in like B or C tier though. So like B is fine. A is fine.
The only issue I have with putting it in A tier is I think Arzu's probably a little better. So like I might say potential.
My thing is I think you need a situation like kind of like you said. You need to like Terra it and give it like another like Series 1, I tried to run Swagger Grimmsnarl next to Dragapult with Lumberry, and I would Swagger and then Terra Dragon Dragon Darts, and I was still struggling to pick up KOs with that. So that's part of my bias, I guess.
I was gonna say, don't forget, you can always swagger the enemy and mirror herb it. Big brain. With acrobatics too. Terra flying acro.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I just thought of the play. That's it. Mirror herb acrobatics. Jesus. Okay. Anyway, I think it has potential. Stone Journal, we were talking about it before. Probably just has potential, right? As a mon, decent support. It's got wide guard. It hits, pretty hard with its rock slides. Obviously, its ability is what you use it for. Power spot. Yeah. Its only issue is like its non-existent special bulk. Like I'm pretty sure like a bubble beam from an Arzu might actually pick it up. But yeah, outside of like that, I think it's really good. Like its attack stats good, its speed stats like decent. I think it's like 70 or something. Its move pool's alright. Like I think it's got potential.
Yeah.
I like that. Now, Meowscarada, we spoke about this one a little earlier with Coco. I think this mon obviously was like one of the kings of Series 1. It fell off hard in Series 2, but I do think with these bulkier teams, Meowscarada will find a spot. Especially too because there's like no good offensive grass type in the meta. Like there's one that we'll touch on a little later that's like solid, but it's not as good as like Flower Trick, I don't think. Like I think Flower Trick into stuff like Ting-Lu is like gonna be insanely good. Also like the bug stab as well, like the ability to like throw off like a protein U-turn could be really good. I think it's got potential. I mean, look, you could argue it's probably not good because this thing had like absolutely no results in the Paradox format, I don't think.
Yeah.
But yeah, guess what's your thoughts? Like I can see its niche.
I really like it. I really liked using Meowscarada Series 1. I used it Band, I used it Sash, I used it Scarf. I thought all the sets were really solid. My concern is there's going to be a lot of stuff to counter dark types in the meta, like
That's
running
true,
around.
yeah.
So and then it's so frail, but the Sash set you want to take a big hit because then you're like returning. So I can see it.
Look, I'm gonna say potential, but again, it's probably my personal bias coming into play. All right,
It's a fun mon.
Yeah. Skeledoge, I love Skeledoge in terms of playing in VGC. It's just probably not good. I don't see a niche with it with all the dark types running around.
Yeah, it's a little slow to get going, right? Like a lot of the sets I saw people running with it are like very bulky, and they're trying to like torch song with like what's it called?
Throat spray.
The throat spray, and then like that takes a little long.
It takes too long, and I think
why wouldn't I just put Chi-Yu on the field?
Yeah,
would be my.
Look, I want to say probably not good, but I think it's just not good.
Yeah, sadly.
All right, now Quackleval, we spoke about it before. I think this one has a niche. Its issue is it's like similar to Skeledoge. It needs that turn to set up, right? If you can somehow pair an Aqua Step with a KO and you get like the +1 speed, +1 attack, obviously it can be good. It does have a pretty good, obviously Aqua Jet. I do think, like, I don't know if you saw, the leaks before the games came out actually said that this thing had Jet Punch. I think if it had Jet Punch, it would see probably a bit more play. But yeah, I still don't think it's good, sadly. Like, very strong offensive dual typing, but yeah, it's probably just not a good Pokemon.
Yeah, why would I not just use Moxie Gyarados? I guess.
Or just Palafin.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an issue a lot of these mods have. We spoke about this one before. Houndstone, it definitely has its niche as a support on sand, but I just think it's probably not good.
Right next to Hatterene makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, I like it. Like, we've still got so many of these, so I kind of want to speed this up. Espathra, its only niche was on that Gravity Hypno spam. It's probably not good. Do you know of any other niche I'm missing? Like, I know people were saying like screens with speed boost and its signature move, but yeah.
Speed boost in general is just a really good, as the speed tier is raised, speed boost becomes a better ability is the only thing I would say. But I think Espathra's time might actually come later when there's some other crazy stat boosting thing that gets added to the game, and then you're gonna have like Opportunist Esperatha or like Mirror Herb speed boost Esperatha.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I think for now probably not good.
I'd agree.
Farafrig, it lost its niche of being a Trick Room setup because Trick Room's just bad. Its ability is good, but outside of that, I think this Pokemon's probably not good.
With you.
Yeah, love that. Dozo, you could argue S tier.
We could talk for the whole length of the tier list so far about Dozo, but
yeah, I think it's just S, right? This mon's just always gonna be good. It's never not gonna be good. I mean,
yeah,
agree.
Yeah,
I mean,
people will find a Terra type and a team to support it. It's too consistent when you can get it going. And Tatsugiri is
look,
always in the same tier. In my opinion.
look, Tatsu itself is not S tier. I do think there is a really cool team people running, like the super offensive teams right now, where it's like the Power Knight, Flutterfish with Dozo. And on those teams, next to the fish, a Scarf Tatsugiri actually does a lot of damage. So, yeah.
No, there's a lot of niche use for a Tatsugiri. Actually, yeah. I think Tatsugiri is a little underrated. I mean, it's the same typing as Kingdra and 5 better special attacks. So.
Yeah, a lot of people think it's only good next to Dozo. And 5 special attack, isn't it 30 special attack higher than Kingdra? Isn't Kingdra based 95 and this is 125?
Oh, I thought it was 5 better. Oh.
No, I'm pretty sure it's 30 higher. I could be wrong.
You could be right. You
look,
could be totally
honestly,
right.
This looks really scuffed. I'm going to quickly just fix this up. Let's have a look. So.
Oh, yeah, it's only...
Yeah, Kingdra is 95, yeah?
Holy moly, I thought it was higher than that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, people watching this can't say, yeah, Kingdra, way weaker. Yeah, way weaker. I should have put that on my screen. That's fine. But yeah, definitely good. Palafin, I don't know about you, S tier. I think, as I said, this mon just keeps getting better and better. I think people underrate it. Like, you look at its usage, it doesn't get much usage, but it's just always there. It's always good. There's nothing worse than like a Palafin setting up. I think you could argue it's the best mon in the game right now. It's right there.
Little difficult to use. That's why I think we'll always see Palafin doing better at tournaments than like on ladder, on Showdown.
I mean, I think
it's very good.
Yeah, its stats are insane. It's a cover legend. What is it, like 660, 670, 160 base attack with a base 60 priority move, Mystic Water. Yeah, the mon's broken. Believer. I'm a believer in Believer, but I don't think this mon's good until people find a niche. I don't think it needs Trick Room. I think Seed Sower, Strength, Sap, Lefties, there's something there. Potentially Harvest in Sun, but probably not. Yeah, what are your thoughts? Like, really bulky on. I just think it actually suffers from the normal typing more so than anything, because I don't think it wants to run Throat Spray, Hyper Voice, unless it's in Trick Room.
I just think I think it's solid. It's got solid stats. I think
it's got potential.
I think the problem with Arbaliva is Trick Room has gone down, which is it doesn't need Trick Room, but it does like good in those teams. I think it likes Trick Room, and then I think Wo-Chien in that like stall grass type is like another mon that's kind of outclassing it. So now you have to compete with Amoonguss and you have to compete with Wo-Chien to be on teams. That's like the only stuff I would say against it.
Yeah. No, it's probably not good. I do love it though. I'm a believer in Believer. Scovillain, we kind of touched on it before. Look, it's a chlorophyll user. It's one of few we have right now that, does anything. Like Lily obviously is the best. I don't feel good putting it in the same tier as Lilligant though, so I think it's like not good.
It's not good. I wouldn't have let you put it above D.
Yeah, I love that. Belly Bolt, I love the little guy. I think it's not good. Definitely not trash, but yeah, not good.
I think it has C. I think it's probably not good. I saw a result at a tournament over the weekend, or maybe it wasn't a great result, but I saw someone using it on a stream. And I feel like on the right screens team or with the right defensive support, that ability is good. Yeah. And I think someone will find a way to like keep replenishing its health consistently, or maybe someone will make parabolic charge work. I don't know, but I think it has a little more potential than the other mons.
Yeah, you're probably right. I agree. I think there's a niche. All right, Mousehold. So we put this one in F before. This mon, I mean, I think it's just really fucking good, right?
Yeah, the argument is A or S in my opinion.
Yeah, look, I don't think it's S. Again, you could argue it's better than a lot of these A tier mons, but Friend Guard, Follow Me, even one thing, especially for like ladder that I love, you can play like the like really offensive variant, slap beat up on it just to put an ape on your team, and then like Technician Wide Lens next to a Chien-Pao does like absurd damage. Like it literally shreds mons, man. Like I think a like an Adamant 252 set actually has like, I don't know if you have a chance to KO Ting-Lu, but like you do like a minimum, it's like 80% or something like that to a Ting-Lu. It's absolutely insane. As a support, it's arguably the best Friend Guard mon, in the game. With Terra Normal, it's like one of the only, I think it is the only redirection that like will always outspeed D-Knight, because most other redirection mons don't want speed, where this thing, even as a support mon, still wants a lot of speed to get off its taunts. So Your Follow Me goes before D-Knight's E-Speed, and with Terra Ghost, obviously you can just counter that. So yeah, I think it's just really solid. You could even argue S tier. This mon's just that good.
I think its versatility puts it into S tier personally. The fact that it has 2 really strong abilities. People aren't even running Tidy Up. And I don't know. I think it's an S tier mon personally. Maybe I'm biased.
No, look, I think you're right. I think I talked myself into it. I love this mon. This is a mon that's been on a lot of the Series 3 teams I've built so far. So yeah, I'm happy with S. Alright, so Titan, we won't talk about it much. I think it's probably not good. I think if a Alolan Ninetales was in the game, this one would be a lot better, but because it's not, I think it's just probably not good.
Mm-hmm.
It has a niche.
If Hail does well, it'll have an existence in the meta.
I think if Alolan Ninetales with screens was in the game, then all of a sudden this one becomes a lot better. But because it's not, I think, yeah, it lives there. Baxcalibur, this mon at least has potential, but like I think you could argue it's really solid. I think it's one of those mons that it just keeps coming back. Like it's just really, really strong, has insane stabs, and it's bulk's nice. Like I think there's just always going to be a niche for this mon, and I think it's just really good.
I like it in A. I think it's another mon kind of like Palafin that like people who are good are going to get more value out of it because they know how to position it, but it's very good.
Yeah, I think with power coming into the meta too, a lot of people thought it would drop off, but I think it's just I think they serve a different niche as a nice type.
Built-in immunity to burn for a physical attacker is way
true.
more OP than people give it credit for.
And the
it's
fact
basically an extra item that it always carries.
And if you try to burn it, especially with Chiyu, if you can like eat the heat wave and then get a revenge kill, insane. Anyway, one of my favorite mons, Kilowattrel. I think this mon has potential, but it's probably not good. It's a fast tailwind setter, faster than a lot of mons. You are kind of forced to run either Covet Code Terra Ghost or just Focus Sash Terra Ghost. I think it has potential, but it's probably not good.
I like it in C. It's like if you're looking for another tailwind setter, you're probably not looking at something with even less bulk than Talonflame.
That's true. So. All right. We got the other Pawmot here. Again, I think this mon will always have a niche, especially if Dozer's in the meta. It's a pretty quick fake out mon. Has 2 really powerful stabs. Obviously, Revival Blessing is really good. I think it has potential. Probably a B tier.
Yeah.
Yeah, not much to say about it. It has one set, but it's one set's good. Garganaki. I think it's really solid, especially with the Ruin mons.
Yep.
Yeah, not much to say.
Easy A tier.
It does one thing. It Salt Cure, it Recover, it Protect, it Terror sometime. Leftovers.
It Wide Guard.
Yeah, Wide Guard. Yeah, good mon. Glamora. This was a medical I made before the meta even started. I said Glamora was going to be really good. And I think it's just on the rise. I think this mon's getting better and better. I climbed super high on the ladder using Glamora. I think this mon's just insane.
I've seen it going up as well, and I don't hate it in A at all.
Yeah, especially
I think it's like I was talking about before we started with the corrosion. People are really just starting to explore Glamora.
The funny thing is, I'd never considered corrosion until you mentioned it earlier, and then the second you mentioned it, I literally sat there and was like, every time I play this mon, people are swapping their Amoonguss in to eat the spikes. They're Terra poisoning in front of me, so I can't like poison them. I just think corrosion's gonna be better. Like, I straight up think corrosion is going to be better. Like, if you run this thing next to, like, some redirection, like, I was playing it with Amoonguss and Tailwind, and it was like, oh, like, if I get my Tailwind up, like, say they're, like, a slower team, or, like, a mid-pace team, get my Tailwind up, burn both your mons. It's like, oh, you got the Amoonguss in the back, like, you swap in your Amoonguss, I just poisoned your Amoonguss. It's like, all of a sudden, like, I think this mon is really good. I don't think it's S tier, but, like, I think its usage is only going to for S tier. It's only going to rise, and I think it's going to be one of the best mons in A tier. Like, I think it's just so good.
I'm with you.
Dash Bun, we spoke about it before. I think it's probably not good, but it has its niche on those Lava Plume sets.
I agree.
Yeah. Golden Joe, one of the goats. I think at the start of every meta, I feel like Golden goes A tier, but once the meta develops, I think it's just S. It's just
so consistent.
It always finds a way into S tier. Like, it has a lot of sets. It has the plot sets. It has the spec sets. It has the scarf sets. Its Make It Rain is like the stupidest move ever put into the game. Just I think it's S tier. Mon's dumb. Great Tusk. I think it's really solid. I think it's right here with Garchomp. They're almost the same Pokemon. This one hits a little bit harder. This one's a little bit bulkier. They both spam Earthquake on Tailwind teams.
Yeah, Chomp is faster.
Tusk is better on the physical end.
Chomp has a wider move pool, but Tusk has like close combat
and Headlong Rush.
Headlong Rush, both stabs. So it has the better like better one pool, set that it runs, but it only has one set that it runs.
Yeah, nah, I'm with that. I'm with that. Brute Bonnet, this was the other offensive grass type we were talking about. I definitely think this one is at least B tier. It has potential. You could argue it's really good. A tier. I think if Sun continues to pick up, this mon will probably find its way onto A tier. But yeah, I think it's at least B, potentially A. Thoughts?
Yeah, that's definitely where it is. It's at least B, maybe A.
I'll leave it there, bottom A for now. Sandy Shocks, one of my favorites. I think it's got potential. I think it's the only thing is like I think it's worse than some of these mons. I think it's better than some of them as well. Like I think it's better than like the Lycan Rocks, but I think it's like worse than like the Dragapults and the Arzus. So I think like mid B tier.
Yeah.
I do think if someone ever finds a way to make electric terrain good, this mon is gonna benefit from it. Like it has a really nice special attack stat. Its dual stabs are really nice. Like the electric ground coverage is like insane. Yeah, I think it has potential for sure. Screamtail, everyone's favorite perish annoying mon. I want to say it's really solid. I think it's A tier. I think this mon's super annoying and yeah. I think it's hard to say.
Just perish?
Oh, dude, even the speed booster, like disable encore shit. Like maybe it's just B tier, but I just hate playing against this mon. Like I fear it.
I hate playing against it too. I just feel like to actually execute, like Perish Trap, for instance. I think we can both agree. Like piloting a full Perish team is not for everybody. It's
no, it's I hate it. I hate it. Like I've seen guys like Wolf win. I like use Wolf's team at like literally like 1,000 on the ladder with a fresh ult. I just can't do it. It's not for me.
And this thing's offensive stats are just not great. I don't know.
Look, I'll say it has potential. I think
that's fine.
On the right, in the right player's hands, I definitely think it's A tier though. But I think there's not enough of the right players. Fluttermane, now this is probably just a I mean, like I think F's good for it.
You don't like Fluttermane, huh?
I love Fluttermane. This thing's on every team I fucking build. I think it's right here with these two as arguably the 3 best ones in the game.
I think it's here to stay. Like people are too stuck on, well, not stuck, but people are very committed to using it to the point now where it's like
it's just a comfort mon. Yeah, it's just
if you can't get it to work, you pick up a different Fluttermane set. You don't necessarily explore an alternative. You know what I mean? People pick up like the booster sub stuff or whatever. I think that's what'll continue to happen. People innovate with their Fluttermane sets to keep it in the meta.
Yeah,
no matter what.
It's too good a one. Slitherwing. I love Slitherwing. I think it has potential. I definitely think it's going to see a lot more play in Series 3. I played it a bit. It's really good into all the Ruin mons except for Chi-Yu. Really good into the other 3. Obviously, First Impression's fantastic. Also, the Fighting Stab is also really good. It's just super strong into the Ruin mons, but like that's all it does. So I think it has potential. But yeah, I don't think it's anything higher than B tier. At least not right now.
Yeah, I don't hate B tier. I might put it in C, but I haven't used Slitherwing, so I'm not comfortable being like.
I wouldn't go that low. I think the AV Terrifier set's really good. All right, Roaring Mid, as people call it. This is actually my new favorite Pokemon. As much as I wish I could say it's S tier, I think it's just A. I think again it's on the rise. People are starting to realize that like Roaring Moon balance with like DD is better than like the booster Tailwind sets. But yeah, I think it's really solid. Definitely one of the top A tier mons at least.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah. Roaring Mid my ass. Anyway, arguably like the worst of the Paradox mons, Iron Tusk. Look, it's probably just potential, right? It's a fast steel type with decent attack stat. It's not.
It's another mon that would benefit so much if we could figure out how to use like electric terrain in the meta. Can you imagine?
Yeah, if this
actually,
thing had, like...
I played the Paldea prologue. That was the one that had Koraidon and Miraidon, and a lot of people are using this thing next to the
Koraidon. One. Sorry, Miraidon. Sorry.
Miraidon,
look, I think this is a mon where when when we get the cover legends, this is going to be good. Until then, it's probably just potential, maybe probably not good. I feel weird not having a Paradox mon in like at least B tier. Iron Moth though, Iron Moth, one of my personal favorites. I would like to put this in A tier, but like I have a huge bias towards this. The only tournament where I've ever gone undefeated in Swiss was using a Flutter Moth combo. I definitely think this thing has potential though.
I used Iron Moth a lot in Series 2. I like it. It's another mon that you have to be cautious of just because like the 4 times ground weakness can be a little tough to deal with. But I'm a believer with the right set, it has niche for sure.
Yeah, I think this is another mon too that when we get terrain, this mon's going to be busted. Like, if you can get the speed boost on a base 110 mon and then give it like a life orb or like even a focus sash, like giving it a sash so you don't have to terror it every game, I think it's been really freaking good. Iron Hands, this is a mon I feel like is dropping off right now, but I think it's just S tier, right? Like it's too reliable. It's the old reliable.
And it hits well into the ruin mons as well. Yeah,
I mean fighting stab's always good. Electric stab's nice. A lot of these fast mons like Flutter Mane at one shots. It obviously threatens a one shot onto Palafin as well. It does kind of need Terror Grass to take on the Palafin, but I think it's still really solid there.
I think access to Swords Dance and or Belly Drum to break like the stall teams in this format is going to be really big for it too. Like if that's what your team struggles with, you can kind of throw Iron Hands on there and something to support it.
Yeah, I agree.
With Swords Dance.
Now this is a personal bias of mine. I believe Iron Jugulis is A tier. I think this is arguably the best Tailwind setter right now. I climbed extremely high on the ladder with it. I got to like 1700 in Regulation C. I just think it's really good. I think this is the best Tailwind setter to put with your Chi-Yu. I think it's insanely good. And this combo right here of Glamora and Iron Jugulis, I think is actually insanely good.
I think that's really interesting, and my only real opinion about that thing was that it was underrated and underexplored, so I don't hate it at all.
I was
if you've used it and you can vouch for it, it's your tier list.
Yeah, I got it. I got it to like 1700. I was like ranked 60th in the world or something. Granted, this is on like Series 3, so like there's not as many people playing it, but
but
I'm a believer.
100 is top 100. Come on.
Yeah, I'm a believer in Iron Jugulis. I think it is insanely good. I think it's very underrated. And going from underrated, we have Iron Thorns, which is probably the worst of the Paradox mons. I think it has potential. Again, I feel like putting it next to Dash Bun is just like fucking.
It's bullying.
I can't. But again, like Dash Bun's also sitting next to Hydreigon, so like. Maybe
How is it gonna go to Paradox School and Slitherwing's gonna get to make fun of it?
Yeah. I do think this thing has potential. The pin missile loaded dice set with like Terra Bug is actually like really cool. You go like it's like you can go like Protect, you can go like a setup move if you want like SD or Sword Dance, and then you just go like pin missile, Rock Blast. If you really want, you slap a Wild Charge on it. I definitely think there's a niche there. I think it's
my issue is just it's one set that needs like one item, and it's like the loaded dice is like an easy item to like throw onto your team. Like there's not too many mons that even want it, but it's like when you see one on the field, you know exactly what it's trying to do. It's like, oh, it's gonna Rock Blast me. Like I don't.
Yeah, no, I get that. All right, Iron Bundle. We've spoken about this mon a lot, especially earlier with Coco. It's a mon
Coco
I definitely
would
think...
be saying D right now.
Nah, look, I still
sounded
think...
like.
Yeah, I still think it's S tier. I still think it's really good. Like I said, it's gonna drop off. I still think it's gonna have like at least 10 to 20% usage. I still think it's really good. It is the best alternative to speed control that isn't Tailwind. It is still the fastest mon in the game with booster. Yeah, I still think it's S tier.
I think we'll see people exploring more sets for it for sure.
I agree.
Like
I think
Encore picked up for a while, and I think it'll probably pick up again. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. I think we might see it in a more supportive role because, like everyone, I hate fucking Hydro Pump. I literally lost a game on the weekend.
Chilling Water is coming back up. I've noticed.
Maybe. Anyway, I'm Valiant. I think it has potential. It's just this mon would probably be A tier if Flutter Mane didn't exist.
I've seen Iron Valiant going up, and I think it's because people think it's going to match up well into the Ruin Mons. The problem is, like
that's
you
what
said,
I thought.
Flutter Mane still exists. And outspeeds.
I was workshopping it with the homie Winter Night the other day. The only set I think is good is the physical ghost set. You run like Sash Protect with like CC Spirit Break. What's it called? Shadow Sneak. That's the only set I think is good. I workshopped a special set. Like, its special attack is really good. I think a mix set could also be good, but like I don't like the idea of running like special attack and like Aura Sphere as like my main stab. Like, I don't know.
That's fair.
Yeah. I guess we'll touch on these four real quick. Toad Scroll. I love Toad Scroll. It's probably just not good. I don't think it's worthy of F tier, but I think it's not good. It's if you didn't have its ability, I think it would be like potential, but yeah, it's not. It's got the worst ability in the game, so just not good. Agree?
Fair.
Disagree?
Scovalian tier.
Yeah. Yeah. King Gambit. Everyone's fucking favorite. This thing's at least A tier.
Yeah, easily.
It's just really solid. It runs like 2 items. It's like black glasses. It's assault vest. It's really tanky. It hits really hard. It has sucker punch. I think it's really solid.
A bunch of viable sets really is gonna keep this thing. Like, I've seen Fissure or not Fissure, Guillotine.
Yeah.
Picking
Oh,
up a
really?
little
Okay.
bit.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
But I think it's like one of the few 4x like weak ones that doesn't need to Terra. Like, it doesn't need its Terra. Like, it likes it sometimes, but yeah, I don't think it needs it.
Yeah.
Armor Rouge, everyone's favorite bloke. Obviously Trick Room fell off hard. I still think there's a niche for it, but do you think it's like just probably not good or like potential?
I think it's potential. I think it's at least as good as those 4 Paradox Mons there, personally.
I agree.
It's
like,
tough to hurt Hydreigon like that, honestly, putting it below them.
Expanding Force is always good. Now, the most hated mon from Game Freak, Tinkerton, I just think it's not good. I know Wolf just used it. I love Tinkerton. I wish it was good. What are your thoughts? I've got it in not good.
I think it has niches, specifically
not good.
like with the Mold Breaker, it can
Yeah.
Thunder Wave opposing Golden Go, and it can Helping Hand its own Golden Go. That's kind of interesting.
You can also fake out Inner Focus Dragonite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
So
gonna say
there's cool tech.
yeah,
with
it has a niche as a support mon for sure. I just think this mon got screwed, man. Like, why? How do you have a hammer this big with 75 attack stat?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
give me that hammer. I'm at least 120. You know.
How can it hold the hammer up with 70?
Exactly. All right, Sarah Ledge. I think Sarah Ledge slept on. It's at least B tier. I think it could maybe see its way into A tier.
I think it's better than Armor Rouge now by a whole tier for sure.
Yeah.
And I've seen results picking up. I'm comfortable putting it in A. Especially with some of the other mons.
Yeah. I think this is a mon that is only going to continue to rise, and the further, like, if you start looking at these mons, like, it's a mon that, you know, threatens Amoonguss, it threatens Flutter Mane. You don't care about the fire moves coming out of Arcanine, like you can swap it into Will-O-Wisps. You don't really care about the D-Knight on lead. You kind of care about this guy. Like, you're really good into Golden Go. It's a mon that can benefit as well from the Mousehold and Amoonguss support. Yeah, I think it's on the rise. Especially, like, I think its AV set's really good, and also its SD set is also going to be really good.
Yeah.
And then the last non-legendary mon, Annihilate. I mean, similar to like every other ghost type in the A+ tier. I think Ghost type's really good. I think Annihilate's really good. Next to Mousehold, it's insane. If you ever get to click Bulk Up and then you got Friend Guard next to you, like, there's a good chance you're just like running straight through the opposing team. Like, if you can safely somehow get Bulk Up and Beat Up off, and then this is.
I consider myself somewhat of a Mouse Ape connoisseur. I'm a big fan.
Yeah,
of both of them.
The most recent team I actually was building just before we started this was a Mouse Ape team. So, yeah, I think it's at least A tier. Like, Rage Fist is broken.
It probably got a little bit better into this meta.
Yes, yeah, I mean, look,
too, because of the Ruin Mons.
Yeah, these 4 mons we're looking at right here, all die to fighting type moves. But anyway, let's discuss. So, let's just get them all in the not so good tier, so I don't have to keep scrolling so much. Because these are the last 4. Obviously, if we were to rank the cover legends, they would all be S tier. Just to put it out there. But okay, so let's start here. Ting-Lu. Can you tell me why it isn't S tier?
No, because I think there's some awkwardness with using it right now, but that's just because people are figuring out the sets. Like, I think a lot of people are seeing Fissure and they don't always like get why Fissure is like on teams or like when
Why
to
it's
click
good.
Fissure.
Yeah. Look,
They're
I
just
think,
like, oh, go for it.
so one thing when it comes to these ruin mons is I think the defensive ones are all like you're gonna always get more value out of the defensive two, in terms of like just the ability strictly, because if you look at the way like Pokemon stats work, right? You're going to have a Pokemon like Fluttermane who is going to have around that 170 to 180 special attack stat. You're never going to have a defensive mon like a Moongus with like say Moongus, for example. It's not going to have 180 defense, yeah? A Moongus is going to have like 120. So lowering its defense by like 25%, it's going from like 120 to like 90, where like Ting-Lu dropping a Fluttermane, it's going from like 180 down to like 135. Like, the number of like stat drops is so much better for Ting-Lu and Wo-Chien than the other two. And then on top of that, like this mon is just, it's so bulky, man. Its HP and defensive stats are ridiculous. Its special defense isn't that bad. It loves Assault Vest. Its attack stats still really good. Like it can one-shot Fluttermane, it can one-shot Chi-Yu, it can do a lot of damage to Iron Hands, like it can eat attacks from like Chien-Pao and D-Knight. Just, yeah, I think it's too good. It's really too good.
Yeah, the ability is good. The base stats are good. Like you said, the attack stat is serviceable. That you can barely invest in its attack or not invest in it. Still puts some pressure on. There's the Snarl stall sets, obviously. Yeah.
Really good. And again, Ruination on a defensive mon is just like fantastic. It's like what all the Tabus had, but like it's just a better defensive mon. Like you could honestly argue this is the best defensive mon we've ever seen. Like 155 base, what is it? 155 HP, and then is it 135 defense, 80 special defense, something like that. It's just, yeah. I think the mon's dumb. It's broken. Wo-Chien. Now, arguably the worst of the ruins. I think there's also an argument it's the best. I think physical, if you like look at the tier list here, like it's a decent spread of both like physical and special, but when you start looking at the A tier, I feel like there's a bit more physical than special, so its ability is really good in that regard. But I mean, do you think it's S tier or do you think it's A tier?
I think it's S tier. The only thing that I'm like, the typing is a little weak, right? Like,
yeah, that's its biggest issue, right? Is bad typing. But
the only thing is people are gonna struggle to bring. I could just see, like, more than the other ones, Wo-Chien could have a specific Pokemon come into the meta that just kind of beats it really well and kind of get pushed out. But I don't think that's gonna. I think it is an S tier mon. I just like, I don't know. Like compared to Ting-Lu, I think it's less reliable. I would agree with you.
I think it is the paradox. So it's the Ruin mon that relies on its Terror the most, but at the same time, it's the only Ruin that has access to somewhat reliable recovery. Like if this mon can ever get 2 Leech Seeds off, like it's done. Especially like when you pair it with Glamora, which is like its best friend in the meta right now. If you can get spikes down and then you start cycling, Leech Seeds, like all of a sudden people don't want to eat Leech Seeds, so they swap out. But then it's like you're getting, poisoned, and it's like, oh, you're getting Leech Seeded again. It also has access to Side Pollen Puff for its allies. It also has Foul Play for, a lot of these, again, physical bonds. And it's also one of those things where Foul Play isn't affected by its ability. So something like Palafin, you're doing like 60% to a Palafin with a Foul Play. Like it's a stab Foul Play. You're doing a lot of damage. So yeah, I think it's S tier. Without a doubt.
It's the one I've used the most and the one I personally like the most. I'm just trying to put that. I think it definitely does work. I have seen that like you can kind of put an Amoonguss on the field against it and Pollen Puff, and that's 4 times super effective into you, and you don't really have a way to deal with it. But most teams have a way to deal with Amoonguss, regardless. So
yeah, I agree. I mean, every team has a fire type, right? Arcanine's one of the most used mons right now, and the other one we're about to talk about, Chi-Yu, another S tier mon. As you said, really good into Amoonguss. I mean, is there any argument? This mon sits next to this mon, and it's broken. Fluttermane Chi-Yu, the Flutterfish.
I've been using like a Chi-Yu with max speed and a Fluttermane that's a little slower and bulkier, so my Chi-Yu actually outspeeds my Fluttermane. And one thing that I found is like things that I actually have Ruination on Chi-Yu, and so things that things that I struggle to beat, I can Ruination before Fluttermane. And Fluttermane there's very few things in the game that it can't kill from half HP with Chi-Yu's ability active.
Yeah, very
So-
true. Yeah, so I've actually been playing bulky nasty plot. That's my favorite way to play it right now. I play it on a tailwind team where like I just run 155, so you outspeed booster bundle. And then it's literally just like bulk with nasty plot. I think it's insane. I think it's a really good set.
You can drop special attack with him too. I feel like
you
a lot
don't.
of times
Yeah, you
because-
don't.
Yeah,
It's-
you don't need.
Yeah, you
as
hit
much,
so hard naturally, you don't need it. Like you really don't. Like the like a lot of people look at this one and think it's fragile as well. Like its HP stat is abysmal, right? It's like base 55, it's awful. But its defensive stats 80 and its special defense is 120. Like its defensive stats actually aren't bad. Its only issue is its poor HP. So if you're able to like invest into that HP, I think this mon, yeah, is like slept on. Like it has a niche there for sure. So I shouldn't say it has a niche. Like that's no, like it is very centralizing in the meta right now. And then the last ruined mon, Chien-Pao. Again, is there an argument that this thing isn't S tier? It sits next to like these 3 mons, and it like literally it's so funny looking at this. I have played a team that is literally just these 5 mons are sorry, these 6 mons are right here. It's just like you've got your Palafin with its like its core, yeah. So you got like the Firewater Grass with like Arcanine and Mungus. You've got the Iron Hands with Volt Switch, and then you just have the Power Knight, and then it's like this is literally 6 S tier mons that all work on a team together. Like its ability is insane, especially next to Dragonite. It's like that next to D-Knight and Pow is like the most like Kansas thing I've ever played in Pokemon. Like even ones like Azu, like the ability just to like one-shot Pokemon from full HP with priority moves, and like sometimes it's not even stab, right? Like sorry, super effective. Like the amount of like E-speeds that have just like one-shot me are like ridiculous. Like it one-shots a lot of Flutter Mains. Like I don't think you can actually build your Flutter Main to live a banded E-speed with Pow on the board. Like it's insane. Like I think they're all just S tier. Like all of these mons are just like so centralizing right now that it's just so not centralizing.
So Chien-Pao doesn't get like big strong moves, right? It kind of like has like a lot of 80 base power.
Yeah.
So that's like
very true.
but like because of its ability, like if it had a big strong move like that, it would be too centralizing. And the thing that makes me like sure it's S tier is like the variety of sets you can go with, because like you have access to Ice Shard, Sucker Punch, so right there's 2 priority. I've seen like double dark with Sucker Punch, Throat Chop. I've seen like Sacred Sword, obviously. I think
even
people
Haze
are gonna,
as well.
Yeah, people are gonna experiment with Haze. People are gonna experiment with Swords Dance.
Well, yeah, the Life Orb Sword Dance is something that I've seen picking up a lot as well, just because like it's one of those things where even if you like run SD on a focus slash set, like if you got like SD protect full stab, it's like you still hit so hard, man. Like yeah, I just think all the ruined ones are S tier. Like they're all so good, and it's like one of those things. Like I look at this tier list, the only reason I kind of want to drop Mouse to like A tier is simply because I just think these 4 are just like that much better than Mouse. But at the same time, I think Mouse's niche in the meta is it's obviously there.
Yeah, Mouse just has a little more flexibility than like Ting-Lu, for instance.
Oh, 100%. 100%, yeah.
So
But
that's what keeps it in that tier. But again, I wouldn't hate a drop for, I guess, Bundle or Mouse from that tier, but I don't mind them in the top.
Look,
I actually agree with this tier list a lot. I was like looking up and down. There's very few mons I would change.
I mean, like maybe some of like
so.
maybe some of the C tier, and like I mean, look, I'm sure we could always nitpick, but we've been here for like almost 2 hours now, so I'm happy with it. Yeah. I think like this is like for me the S and the A are like really important because like these are the meta defining bonds, right?
Yeah.
Like these 2 tier lists, these 2 tiers will define the meta. Like this B tier is the mons that will like kind of support the meta in a sense, like have their niches on certain teams. And then everything else under that, like all of these mons are just like almost never gonna see play.
Yeah.
I do know there's one friend in particular. I won't leak it just because I know he doesn't like stuff being leaked. He is a massive believer in Fire Tauros. I don't know. Like I think this could be potentially B tier. I'm gonna leave it in C just because again I'm not sure. But I do know there are people who are big believers in the Fire Tauros right now. Like there's a specific core, and with its speed stat, that yeah, there are people out there that think like this could be really good.
If your main problem with your Arcanine is that it's not living hits, like Tauros is bulkier Arcanine. in a way.
It also with its with its dual typing, you are actually also like better into like Flutterfish and Pow Knight. Like you can
with the
threaten.
close combat,
Yeah, like your CC can just like threaten the Chi-Yu while eating a Moonblast, and yeah. But anyway, we have been here for almost 2 hours now. It's been a hot minute. Is there anything else you want to say before we wrap it up, I guess?
No. Thank you for having me. Sorry if I talked too much.
Nah, thanks for coming on, mate. I've talked a lot too. We've been here for 2 hours. You know, I remember when we were talking about this, we were like, like 45 minutes maybe. But yeah, no, we got through it. 2 hours. It was really fun. I really enjoyed it. But yeah, thanks for coming on. Obviously, if anyone's stuck around this long, yeah, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. But yeah, I guess we're out of this one.
Yeah.
Catches. Peace.